everything will matter from now on, 'cause it's high time. And I know that it's alarming, yeah. 'Cause time is running out, and we can't just stay and watch it, no. Oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. Matter from now on. Let's fight it, there's no way to hide it. 'Cause everything will matter from now on, 'cause it's high time. No matter from now on. Yeah, we must fight it now, 'cause nothing else matters from now on. No matter from now on, it's high time. No matter from now on, yeah, it's high time.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am independent journalist Georgia Fort. Benjamin Dixon is currently on vocal rest, so I will be spending the morning with you. He is still here supporting behind the scenes. And then at about 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, we'll pass things over to Rebecca Azor, who will hold it down for Like It or Not. Ben, if you want to pop in, it'd be great to see you. If not, that's cool too. I know for today, we felt like it was really, hey, Ben, hey, good morning. I know you're not saying much because you're on vocal rest, but just want to say thank you for extending your platform to people, women like me and Rebecca, to have space to do what we do as journalists. We appreciate you so much. And I hope your voice rests up here in the next few days so we can have you back. But getting into things, I am really compelled to talk to you guys about something that's not on national headlines. And the reason I think it's important to center this conversation here in this space is because we have the opportunity to do that. We're not held to the same standard as the national outlets. And I'm asking myself why this conversation is still not at the forefront in these national outlets. The thing that is on my mind this morning is public safety and police accountability. And I know some people are tired of talking about this. To be frank, I'm really tired of reporting on unarmed Black men being killed. I'm really tired of seeing the media used as a vehicle to justify those killings. But the reality of it is, you guys, this is not behind us. Let's be clear. Derek Chauvin has not been sentenced yet. In fact, the latest court documents that have come out regarding his case are from his attorney asking that he be placed on probation. And while most of us are not surprised, and we're not certain if the judge will take that into consideration on June 25th when he is sentenced, it's very important to point this out, that at every opportunity, every turn in this case. His defense has tried to mitigate the level of accountability that he's faced with. And so there is a serious problem here. It's not behind us, and it does need to be addressed. Unfortunately, the nature of mainstream media is to move on to the next story before seeing the story through to the solution. And so I think that's why it's important to center independent media outlets like On-Site Media, News on Purpose. We have the founders of those outlets here with us today, Toussaint Morrison and Jakara Hallman. They're joining us now. You guys have been on the ground doing frontline coverage on some of these issues. And so I'm so thankful to have you here this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And some of the nuances that you all both cover are, seeing protesters, right? They're painted oftentimes in mainstream media as just, rioting and looting and these negative things. But the amount of arrests and injuries that are inflicted upon them from officers often don't make the headlines. And those nuances are important because we know that citizens do have the First Amendment right to peacefully protest. Mm-hmm. So that brings me to this footage that Toussaint's media outlet gathered, where you can see moments after officers are turning off their body cameras in Minneapolis following the death of Winston Smith, who was killed in Minneapolis by a U.S. Marshal. And for some reason, there's no body camera footage of this incident. I want you guys to take a look at this footage here where you can see these officers. You see the one cop going officer by officer, whispering in their ears. Toussaint, how did you learn that these officers turned off their body cameras?
Well, they had been given the order. We heard them vocally say that out loud right before Officer Matt Severance, who you're seeing right there, 6457, started speaking to officers. And I believe in this clip, he's telling them to change the radio channel, but they had vocally out loud said, body cams off. And so they don't have to have them on. I know a lot of people think that there's laws where they have to have them on at all times. They do not actually. And every department's different. So, they have different bylaws regarding their body cams, but we had been standing on the sidewalk. The reverse side of this, what you're seeing is people standing on the sidewalk peacefully, lawfully, and not really, causing any harm to merit the amount of military force that the Minneapolis Police Department had gathered on Lake Street at that time.
And, the thing that is so concerning to me, Toussaint, is body cameras were largely put in place for transparency and accountability. And so to see this almost digression, to see us almost going backward, it's almost, it feels very counterproductive. And the other thing is, so protesters are out here protesting because there's no body camera footage of the fatal shooting of Winston Smith, yet the officers are responding by being out there and turning their body cameras off. And it reminds me of the case of Ronald Green, where you had this incident where an unarmed African-American man died following an encounter with police. The initial narrative was that he had ran into a tree, that he had died, succumbed to the injuries from a car crash. There was no body camera or dash camera footage that the officer said existed. However, earlier this year, the AP got their hands on 46 minutes of footage that showed it was no accident. Mm-hmm. That I believe it was six white officers brutally beat him to death. Wow. And similar to George Floyd, laid him on his stomach and for about 9 minutes. And he actually died from those injuries. And so it's very concerning to be here now, a few months after that footage of Ronald Green's death comes out, where we're seeing in Winston Smith case, again, they're saying there's no footage, but it's 2021. And law enforcement agencies, it's been recommended as best practices that they have those cameras on for transparency. Jakar, what do you make of all of this?
You know, honestly, I felt a bit threatened to see them turn their body cameras off, because the next thought was, what are you going to do to us next? And again, as you said, the body cameras are for transparency. And so if you're turning these body cameras off, then it is your word against ours, because you can make up any narrative and say anything happened. And that's all that we have to go by and to believe. And so we fought hard. We really fought to have these body cameras put into place, and we need them to follow that. We need them to stick by that, and to at least give that the community some reassurance that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and the events that took place are as they are said to be, versus us learning later of negligence, deceit, and manipulation of evidence and footage. It really kind of
Absolutely.
diminishes the trust that the community have with our law enforcement.
Absolutely. You know, in Tucson at a recent press conference, you talked about integrity being doing the right thing when no one is looking. And in this case, you pointed out in, like for Derek Chauvin, they didn't do the right thing when people were looking. And so what are they going to do when we're not looking? And I think about the very foundational components of our democracy, being at stake here, even for press. It feels unsafe to be in spaces where officers are turning their body cameras off in front of predominantly black crowds. It feels unsafe when we've seen a CNN reporter arrested live on television, even as press, to be in these situations. How are you navigating all of this, Tucson? And what is the solution? Where do we go from here? How do we turn the chapter in this part of American history?
Well, I think in regards of the initial part of your question, speaking to body cameras and being pressed, as you saw outside of the Brooklyn Center Police Department with after Dante Wright was murdered by Kim Potter, they arrested press, they arrested medics, they arrested everybody that was present, and they flexed. What we saw was their presumed right to violence. And so what I think of it is, all bets are off, and it does turn the metro area into a sundown town. So what are they going to do when the sun goes down and protesters are out? Really, all bets are off, and they did arrest several people that this past Saturday. They arrested several people last Saturday that were protesting peacefully. So whether these body cams are on or off, they're making arrests and they're taking people out, regardless of what they think or what they're doing. To get to the other part of your question, with the body cam footage not being present or existent in the killing of Winston Smith, the thing with that is those are U.S. Marshals, and up until October 2020, there was no literature at all that saying that they have to have body cams. And so actually it was required for them not to. They were not supposed to have body cams so they could protect themselves. Yeah. If said agent was in another undercover, if they were dealing with, a cartel or doing something, with another case, they don't want their identity compromised. So no body cams, no squad car footage, they move they move off camera essentially. And so what that says is they prioritize the jobs of U.S. Marshals over the people that they're supposedly protecting. And now that we have literature that says, hey, you have to have body cams, lo and behold, June 7th, 4 days after Winston Smith is killed, Ramsey County says, hey, now you have to have body cams. What you're seeing legislature put in place based on black men that have been put into the ground. It's not because they want to do the right thing. It's not because, hey, this is actually a really good idea. This is because we messed up and we killed another black person. Let us show some modicum of contrition by changing the literature. And the last point I'll make, the interesting thing about that is notice how they've said, and all of us in media here are well versed in understanding that it's as important as what they include as what they don't include. And so what they've said is that they don't have body cam or squad car footage. They did not say that they don't have any cell phone footage. And so we saw there's been several people that have said there's a possibility of somebody has taken footage from a condo above. There's several condos above this parking lot that look down on it. So there's more than likely footage somewhere. Where that footage goes, and if it goes to the BCA and only the BCA, then you're probably not going to see any modicum of justice brought about, because the BCA is cops investigating cops. But notice how they haven't said no cell phone footage, and notice how the parking lot does have cameras, CCTVs that are mostly focused on the exits and the entrances, but there more than likely is footage somewhere. We just have yet to see it.
Yeah. And I think that the thing that keeps bringing me back to this conversation for our country is the fact that this isn't making national headlines, that it's become so commonplace in America that Black Americans, or in this case, we actually see very diverse groups of people going out to protest, but that it's become so commonplace that Americans are outraged that somebody's been killed by law enforcement, dozens of people are arrested, and it can just fly under the radar. And I mean, you can go to any national outlet right now, and this story is nowhere to be found on their homepage. And so how have we come to this place where it's just so common that these things happen that it's not at the forefront? And I think that some people are tired. We know that after Daunte Wright was killed in the third week of the Derek Chauvin trial, people were outraged about that. There was also footage in that case. And so, with Winston Smith, I keep asking myself, what is it about this specific case that's happening right now, you guys? This is happening right now. It's unfolding each and every day. There are developments in this story, and it is going off of the radar for the most part. No one is following it. No one is covering it. And so, I mean, there's a few things. There was a false narrative that went out by a allegedly credible outlet that portrayed him as a murder suspect, which I think initially people just wrote this off as a justified use of force because of that inaccuracy. Well, yesterday we saw that media outlet actually release an apology after public pressure. I know I applied some pressure on my platforms for them to do that. And so I don't know if mainstream media just kind of saw that initial report and said, oh, okay, there's nothing there. But knowing that that was inaccurate, and now here looking that there's no footage, is that the reason why people aren't really following this story? Because there's no footage for them to see. And so it's just, it makes me question where we are in terms of our nation's progress on public safety and policing, because a year ago, everybody was dead set on making substantial change on reforming police or defunding the police, or some people were wanting to abolish the police. And now it kind of feels like a conversation of yesterday, that people have moved on, despite the fact that the George Floyd Policing Act is not passed. On a city and state level where George Floyd was killed, there hasn't been meaningful legislation passed. And so this is not an old conversation, but it may be a conversation that people are tired of having. And I understand that, but I don't want to see our nation become numb. I don't want to see this become the normal, and where people just write it off as another police killing. You both are on the front lines following these stories. How do you cope and process after seeing trauma and a police killing after a police killing, and you're both people of color? How do you internalize that and process it all?
Jakar, if you want to go ahead, take that.
I struggle every day, if I'm being honest. I truly struggle every single day. One part of me is like self-care, unplug, take time off. But then as independent journalists, it's important to be out there, because if we're not out there, then who is changing the narrative, as Georgia said? Who is challenging these mainstream platforms to make sure that they hold themselves accountable? And if they do make a mishap or a misstep with their communication and their narrative, that they are taking accountability for that. It's hard. It's hard. I typically ask people, what are our allies, in a sense, when they say, I support you, I got your back, sister. My question is, what are you telling your families? How are you having these dinner conversations? How are you speaking to your children about what's happening in the world around us? Because the children are watching, and we have to be mindful that they're out here too. I love that there was recently a press conference for the youth. It happened in Minneapolis, and I look forward to seeing it in Atlanta, in New York, and so many other places around the world, because our children have a voice. And I find comfort in knowing that they're asking questions, and they're inserting themselves in the conversation. And so anytime that I get a chance to, I'm sitting down with our youth. Anytime that I get a chance to, I'm now, because of the narrative where we have press, mainstream media, putting out false narratives, I'm actually like questioning and verifying the narrative of the narrative that is being put out. And it's hard work. It is. And I won't say anything else besides it's hard work.
And Toussaint, how about for you?
Well, I mean, it's deflating, disappointing, and I mean, it's in some terms, I don't want to say the word inspiring, but it motivates you more to get these narratives out here, because narrative is so important. And for the lack of people showing up, when we're talking about, our white neighbors and whatnot that posted a black square, or, people around the country that, were performatively for Black lives and against police brutality, and now where are you at? The idea is that everybody has their own level of capacity, and if we're meriting everybody as they're doing the best they can do, then this is the best that we got, and that's not to say that's not to give anybody the pass. It's to say that our best has to be better. And I think for Black folks, when we look at this personally, as for myself, as a Black man, you're seeing yourself in all these people, all these Black men that are put into the ground. And, as Black men that are 2.5 times more likely to be killed by cops than white men. Black men are by far and large killed more than any other demographic. It's scary. And it's also scary in the case of Winston Smith, because this is done just in broad daylight, but under the auspices of, the mute button and, don't talk about it, go home. So that part is extremely insidiously scary. And so for me, I would say, to answer your question in short, I mean, sometimes you get a little bit of paranoia about you, like how easy would it be for them to take you out, and just cut your narrative short. And then what's the message that we're sending to young Black people, and how they see their lives as expendable, and how they see their lives as rewritable. As we saw a major news outlet just jump the gun and run off of propaganda. The idea is that, and the last part of this is the motivation of it is to actually not only say I'm human, but shout it, because nobody else is going to do the work that, you, Georgia, are doing, or you, Jakar, are doing, or you, Benjamin, are doing. We got to do it ourselves. Like, public media isn't going to show up and start doing the right thing until we start doing the right thing and setting the tone. So that's the inspiring part about it, I would say. As I said, I wasn't going to use that word, but is to watch Black folks take the narrative and pave the way that has not been paved before, as we know it. And so I find it disheartening to see another family, grieving the loss of their son, but I also find it as a time to step up and start telling our stories.
Yes.
And so, if you guys are just joining us, we are talking about an incident that occurred within the last week in Minneapolis following the fatal shooting of Winston Smith. Officers were instructed to turn their body cameras off. We're going to play this clip for you one more time where you can see one officer going cop by cop. Giving them instruction potentially to change the channel on their radio frequency or to just follow up in enforcing them turning that body camera off. And so it brings us to this point of conversation where, post George Floyd, everyone was looking for some change in policing. And here in a major metro city, we're seeing officers being instructed to turn their body camera off. We have an incident where Winston Smith was killed and there's no body camera footage, so they say. And it also makes you think back historically on what these institutions, what these agencies were founded to do. They were founded to be slave catchers. And that fact is often left out of the narrative in mainstream media. But I know we're getting ready to wrap things up here. I want to pivot a little bit with you both. Toussaint, you don't just follow these types of social justice issues. There's a variety of different issues that your organization, On-Site Media, has been following and covering and bringing attention to. David, if we can play the clip of Toussaint outside of the mayor's home, showing up and pressing, putting pressure on elected officials to be held accountable for the promises that they've made.
Community looks like. This is what community looks like. The whole system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict,
And so I think this is actually the hundreds of people who came out to protest Winston Smith's fatal encounter. And here we go. This is it.
And the promise that he sold this city on was that there would be affordable housing. However, what's happened after I give up this mic to the rest of y'all, what we've watched is the dehumanization of this city's most vulnerable people. People have come together to set up community, to set up villages, to set up encampments to defend themselves. When the Minneapolis Police Department lynched George Floyd and the city let open the gates for white supremacists to come through to start terrorizing these citizens, Mayor Fry spent tens of millions of dollars to bring the National Guard in. Tens of millions of dollars to police your bodies. Tens of millions of dollars to not address what happened. Then, when one of our brothers gets hung, media rolls through like J. Cole's from KSTP and wants to talk about the effect and say that, oh no, protesters are showing up at elected officials' houses.
Hell yeah, we are.
And they're making threats.
Toussaint,
Well,
Toussaint, this was from a time where you went to the mayor's house. And that's been a strategy. Often we just saw folks show up to the head of the U.S. Marshal's house. That has been a strategy that I haven't really seen used in other cities, but it's been a strategy that, would you say it's been effective, showing up to the home of elected officials and applying pressure? Because on one side you have, people who would say they're maybe progressive or conservative, saying we just need to show up and vote and get new people in office. But in Minneapolis, the strategy has been, from a protester standpoint, to show up at people's house and apply pressure on the people who are in position to make change.
Well, we did see that in Los Angeles with District Attorney George Gascon. People camped out and had a party outside of his house for, I think, over a week.
That's right.
There's a Brown reporter on the ground named Vishal P. Singh, who was just day in, day out at this party outside of George Gascon's house. It happened to Mike Freeman. It happened to Lisa Bender. It happened to a lot of elected officials. And the idea is that if these people aren't beholden to the values and things that they said they were going to do when they got voted in, then what are we doing here? Why? And also, I mean, I think it kind of started, or the impetus that, as I know it in Minnesota, was, well, it's COVID-19. If I can't get to your office, then I'm going to go to your home office. I'm going to talk to you there. And I think, pulling up a Mona Doman, and she was removed out of, sorry, I got the sunlight coming through here. She was taken out of her house by the feds about 30 or 40 minutes before protesters showed up. And I mean, we saw it also with Pete Orpett. For people that aren't familiar with Pete Orpett, Attorney General for Washington County, he was handed the case of Dante Wright to prosecute Kim Potter. He only brought manslaughter 2, which was not enough, and folks wanted murder 2, murder 3, and so people pulled up to his house until he handed it off to Keith Ellison. He didn't want the heat. And so if these people are really about their jobs and they're really about their business and they're really about serving the people, then they'll deal with what comes in being a elected official and community leader. And that is people disagreeing with what they say and pulling up to their house. And, nobody's trying to hurt anybody. It's just saying, hey, we want to talk to you. Can you come out here and talk? And Mayor Fry has, come out and talked before. And I think we've all seen the footage where he's asked, is he going to abolish the police? And then he says no. And then everybody chants shame. The idea is, at the end of the day, it's accountability. It's, are you going to be accountable to the people, and are you going to do what you said you were going to do?
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you both. Oh, go ahead, Jakara.
Do you both recall this past summer when the community showed up to Daniel Cameron's house, the Attorney General of Kentucky, and many of those individuals were arrested? They actually have Facebook pages now, Louisville 87 individuals were arrested where this perimeter was created and everyone inside of the perimeter was taken into custody. And that, I believe, was mainstream and made headlines because you had celebrities that were also arrested. And so you're talking about Tamika Mallory, and then you're talking about celebrities from like Housewives, Portia Williams, and what's her name? Can't think of her name, but many celebrities were arrested during that time. And so they did talk about it, but it was interesting to learn why these individuals would be arrested for protesting, for exercising their right to do so.
Well, I want to thank you both for joining us this morning on the clock. It has been a pleasure to have you. I see Ben just popped in, so that's the cue. That's the silent cue that it's time to wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.
Absolutely, you as well. So we're going to go ahead and transition over to the next segment on the Benjamin Dixon Show. For those of you who are just joining, Ben is on vocal rest. So he is here silently resting his voice. We appreciate you, Ben. You guys have a good day.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my. All good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that way. Tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail.
Good morning again, everybody. Welcome again. It is time for Like It or Not. Make sure you get your coffee or tea, whatever you need. It is. Get some morning started, y'all. It's about to go down, y'all. Like it or not. Let's get it. Let's go.
But the nighttime, get that good till we act right. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low.
Check, mic check.
You'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion.
Good morning, y'all. Pixie on the moon. Good morning, brother Chuck Diesel. Terry Stacy. Good morning, y'all.
We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal? Do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves. And knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone and the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb the way you dressing, gone flexing.
Good morning to everybody that's streaming on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook,
you got the upper handle on the situation.
YouTube,
You
we
worthy of a
appreciate
million
y'all.
more. The storm
Make
that
sure
we
that y'all
weather.
hit
We
that
might
like
retreat
button.
but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle. You a
Brother
treasure.
Bryce,
Like
dude in
setting fire to my
1969,
desire
good
for the
morning.
pleasure.
Truth the
The
Dragon,
gym
good
got me
morning to
blemish,
you.
make amends, know you can, I'm out here.
Trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal? Do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
Laura, good morning, Laura.
When all the food's gone and the dirt's filled with trash, is that when they realize you can't eat cash? When all of the water is brown and smells funny, is that when they realize you can't drink money? Yo, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Before mankind and Mother Earth break up. Hello, children. Welcome to the space station. I'm glad you chose our program for your summer vacation. We sent you the history of Earth. I bet you read it, cause instead of goofing off, you're here to get some extra credit. That's good. Education lead to success, while ignorance and hesitation lead to a mess. And yes, I guess I'm speaking of the 21st century. To manifest your holograms and follow along mentally. As you can see from these primitive videos, humankind didn't really know that they were getting close to the events that would cause their extinction, because they were distracted by so many new inventions. And who could blame them? They rode in self-driving cars, using virtual reality goggles to fly to Mars. While on Earth, the dirt and air were getting kinda strange, full of plastic and smoke, causing global climate change. And while the rich men watch their salaries grow, people ignored reality and watch reality shows. Sometimes a news channel let the truth break through, but then a different news channel.
Laura Estrada, that is early, sister. Shout out to you, Laura. Thanks for tuning in this morning. West Side. Lonzy, good morning, good morning. Six Dragon Daddy 9, what's going on? Good morning to you.
Is that when they realize you can't breathe gold? When everyone is gone and they're all by themselves? Is that when they realize you can't love wealth? Yo, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Before mankind and Mother Earth break up. Now before the telepathic implants in our heads, people used to connect using the World Wide Web. They call the internet, with different types of social media. Store the information sort of like encyclopedias.
I'm not your girl and I never will be. Don't call me up. Don't waste your time, 'cause I'll be
Six Dragon Daddy, we got you.
look somewhere else, heal for nothing.
EC Standing, good morning to you.
I'm not your girl, 'cause I only love me. Don't get me wrong. You and I could have fun together when I feel done with having fun on my own. It's better to care for yourself. Not rely on somebody else. So don't get me wrong. I'm just riding alone. Just walk away, 'cause I got no intentions of hanging out with you tonight. Don't look my way.
Good morning again, y'all. Make sure you come on in, get situated, get settled. Like it or not, it's coming up next, y'all. Make sure that you stay tuned. Shout out 7, sweetheart. Jam Tune, good morning to you on Twitch. I see you. Wake up. That was by. Give me 1 second. I got you. Oh, why I can't find it that quick? That's Laura Williams. It's called Wake Up by Laura Williams. It was featuring Laura Williams. The regular group name is not listed, but you can definitely find that on YouTube. Wake Up featuring Laura Williams. Oh, girl. Justin Draconis, good morning.
Tell me what it is.
Justice, you let me know when you need me to book that trip to come up there and DJ for y'all.
Tell me what it is, don't tell me what it ain't. They try to throw salt, it just made the pressure raise. Going through a phase, gotta get myself out it. Don't talk about it, boy, they said you gotta be about it. So I be trying to face
David
the world.
David and y'all looking
front
slack.
seat riding, cruising down the meadows. Pedal to the meadow, cool breeze blowing down the windows. Calm trees, blowing trees, get that boy some headroom. On the interstate in traffic, but I swerve out. What's the moves for the night? What's the word now? What's the links? Hit me up, we could go now. I got hella pieces, she got hella features. Get me hella geeked up, she be blowing shisha. Reefer on me loud, hope them boys don't creep up. I don't know a thing.
Laura, thank you for your super chat.
I don't try to girl, tell me what you want. Don't be trying to front
Happy
like
Thursday
I ain't what
to you, Laura.
I ain't here to stun, let me take you out for lunch. I'ma get you drunk, yeah, filling on your buns. Licks in the blunt, I got ash in my cup. All these girls showing up, but I don't give a fuck. Cause you the one I want, girl, you the one I want. Girl, you the one I want. Hey, come and show me love.
Nicole, good morning, Nikki.
She a bad joint named Maya. And when I seen her, man, she look fire. She got me feeling higher than a sour. So I'm trying to feel how I feel inside her. I asked her what she doing, she like nada. Said she just chillin', about to get up in the shower. I said, alright, cool, I'ma be there in an hour. I just wanna live like a Kuna and Matata. I ain't got no time for no baby mama drama. All about my comments, my letters, no tocadas. Always backing what they got up in they wallet. Ain't no really telling that we had to see them all. Get it on my own, I ain't really trying to ball. So I stay fly, gotta do some niggas.
Lisa Noel, Lisa Noel, I appreciate you, man. Y'all know I do what I can. Lonzy 17, man. Chicago has been one of my visiting spots for the longest that I've always wanted to come to. So hopefully soon I'll be getting out there.
Help me see it. Someone help me free this feeling. Someone help me see it. Someone help me free this feeling. Don't wanna think about the past.
Terry Stacy, I appreciate you.
So give me something for the pain. I wanna lose myself again. Please get out of my mind. Just get out of my sight. Let me go for one day. Let me lose myself. Oh, I knew how this would end. Oh, I knew that it would die. That we would come to this. That we would say goodbye. Big up to this crew here. We like to keep it positive.
Shout out to the Line family, y'all. Shout out to the Pride. We love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. We definitely mean it, y'all. Y'all make sure you stay tuned. Like it or not, it's coming up next.
Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you.
Rising up like the moon, elevating the mood, uplifting attitudes, cause that's what we choose to do. And I don't know about you, but there's enough negativity going around with plenty room to improve. Yeah, sometimes we collide with stress and negativity.
Welcome, y'all. If you haven't joined that Patreon yet, make sure that you join, y'all. Patreon.com/likeitordnot. Patreon.com/likeitordnot, y'all.
Keep it positive, you know how we do. Big up, big up, big up to this crew. From day one till it's done, do or die, me and you. Big up, big up, big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive, you know how we do. Big up, big up, big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you.
Why you tryna play me? Telling me I'm crazy, tryna prove me wrong in every fight, knowing that I'm right. Why you tryna wreck me? Always wanna check me, wanna call me out in front of friends. Careful where you tread before this ends. You love me and I love you, but butting heads is what we do. Bullheaded, stubborn, wild, crazy lovers. You love me and I love you. Why can't we just match the two? Why we get so mean? Light the match, I'm kerosene. We're fire. Oh, baby, we're fire. Feed the flame. We're fire. Oh,
I see y'all there in the chat. Brother Chuck Diesel. Always remember, sir, don't break nothing. Like it or not, is not responsible for any broken furniture, dishes, children, cats, dogs, mice, rats, rabbits, any animal, object, person, place, or thing that may be in your house at the time, okay? So please, move carefully, because the sounds of DJ Exclusive will make you do this. Thank you.
why you tryna play me? Telling me I'm crazy, sitting on the other side of me, always cross-examining. Don't you think it's silly? Why won't you just trust
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready. It is time for the time. It is like it or not, y'all. Y'all stand by because it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Hey,
Good morning, people. I forgot I saw Rebecca and I was like, it's Rebecca. I forgot.
that's me. I'm Rebecca.
Ooh,
That's
we
me.
need to start over though.
Oh,
You know why we need to start over?
so we can say welcome to Like It or Not.
No, because you need to go change your outfit.
Oh, because my colors. Well, before I do that, representing the illustrious University of Florida A&M University. There goes Benjamin Dixon, guys. Because I know y'all gonna be coming on looking for him. Here he go. He's not here this morning, cutting in just to show you guys that he's still here. Even though he's not here, he's still
Dang,
here.
that was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. That was, and he's back, and he's back again, and he is back, and he's gone, and he's gone. So
is he coming back?
Stay away, Ben. We got you. You here? We got you.
Right, Rebecca.
And you did notice the colors, but before we talk about these beautiful colors that I have on, let's go ahead and do that introduction. That introduction of welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
Okay, give it a little bit more action next time. You was like, do I say it? Do I not?
Say it? Do I not? Do I not? Do I say it?
That was you. It's just Rebecca today. It's just Rebecca for the rest of the week. So it's us. We got parts now. We got
okay.
So good morning though. How are you, Bubba? It is Thursday. January? It is not January. June 10th. It is Thursday, June 10th. I did throw it back on Thursday to January, but it's actually June. It is June 10th. We're breezing in this month. So what's going on? What's new with you?
Not much, man. Just, happy to be up in here. I thought you had froze for a moment. You hit the freeze challenge on me. Okay, cool. I thought we was doing a thing. But yeah, it's doing pretty good. Everything is good. I'm good.
Okay, good.
How about you? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. I have on orange and green, so that means I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. And for those of you who don't know, orange and green is the colors of a Florida A&M University, a very prestigious HBCU out there in Tallahassee, across some trade tracks from another university, FSU, Florida State University, but the most important university in that city, in that Florida city of Tallahassee, and the capital of Florida is the HBCU, Florida A&M University. I was just feeling like I want to be orange and green today. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I feel you. Well, luckily, I have something just for you. I see it's in the after party, but I'm going to get it moved up.
Okay,
so
you're good.
You see, it's just for
why
you.
do I feel like that's the orange wig Bubba talking right now? It was like...
it's not the orange wig. It's something even better than the orange wig.
Okay.
I wish that we could go ahead and play it now because you came in with this orange and green. And I think, just to get it out the way, I think it'd be good to go ahead and get it.
Okay, well, let's do that then. Let's go ahead and get that HBCU. Because I know what you're talking about, and I think that's a good way to start the show. Go ahead and throw that HBCU joint in if we have it ready. If not, we could roll a story and we'll get right to it. Oh, he was ready.
We stay ready.
Well, that's not the HBCU clip I was looking for. But since you want to go ahead and drop it. Because you gotta
right, Rebecca. Let me find out you're supposed to report to. All right, Dave, you can cut it, David.
Please do cut it, David. But I wanted to support my brother and sister school, which was the Hail Wildcats. We're gonna do that
Wildcats.
today. It's
Shout
Thursday.
Out to the
Yeah. Okay. Hail Wildcats. I don't know what you guys do, but Hail Wildcats this morning. But shout out to all HBCUs. Just a lot of great news going on with HBCUs that we will get further into as we go into the show. But let's start the show off with this right here is going to make us a little upset. I ain't want to start the show like this, but we're going to have to get it out the way, right? Yeah, so Representative Ilhan Omar, right? She exposes the racist voicemails that she gets. Now, she uploaded this to her Twitter, and I want to go ahead and let you guys hear what people of color, no matter where you are, especially in this media space or in these representative spaces, how they are viewed and how people have the audacity to call them and tear them down just about who they are, what they believe. Let's take a look or listen.
Destroy cultural heritage. They destroy history, just like Miss Ilhan Omar, because Muslims are terrorists, and she is a rat. And every anti-American communist piece of that works for her, I hope you get what you.
And this is very important because it's a lot of times she pointed out on her Twitter page that these voicemails, I mean, it's nasty as we heard, right? It's very disgusting to hear and things like that. But it's a lot of times from the articles that are printed from right-wing media or also from the right-wing Twitter space and social media space. What happens is they put out this information about her and call her a terrorist, right? Mm-hmm. And say that she's with all kinds of groups, Taliban, all these different type of terrorist groups. And because of the color of her skin, her race, her nationality, a lot of people believe that. And because these articles were out there, a lot of people believe that. And people ran with this news. And we know how the far right is. We know how Republicans are. And they know that their constituents, they know that the people, they know that their followers, know that their clan is going to eat it up. And this is what is presented to her. And she played those. I think that, and that is one of many, I'm pretty sure. But she played those to show how she's being attacked and how she moves on every day. It's one of those things where we say we have to go through things, right? And that don't kill us but make us stronger. And I don't know how I would be in that position to do so. It's funny because I remember when me and Ben started this thing, and we would have a number where they left voicemails for us. We have a segment up, and I don't know if it's still up online, but there's a segment, and Ben did it on his show, the Benjamin Dixon Show. He did it on his show, and he played those voicemails, a few of those voicemails, and they were saying like, we don't know where you guys are from, but get to where go back to where you're coming from. And, for me, it was very shocking for me when they found out that I spoke another language and who I was. They were like, this black girl, she's some kind of mutt or whatever. She needs to go back to where she's from. And Ben had made a beautiful, a great point in that particular upload. And I think he's going to get it for us right soon so we can play a bit of that. But okay. Ben had actually came back and was like, it's funny because you guys are saying that we need to go back to where we come from. One, we didn't ask to be here. Two, I could trace my heritage. I could trace my family way back further generations than you can as a white person. And I sat there and I thought about that. I said, that's such a good point that I don't think I don't think a lot of people understand. Black Americans can trace their generations.
Yep.
Very, very far back. Sometimes, many times further back than a lot of white people can in this country. How far back do you think your generation goes of Black Americans here?
Very far. My heritage goes back to my grandmother was a Jefferson, and go back further.
Oh,
Thomas Jefferson. Know. So it goes back very, very far. Talking to my mom, very far.
Yeah.
I wish I knew the extent of how far it went to. But yeah, I know that great somebody was, a family member.
But that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it's a big deal because it's like you can trace them far back, but they're gonna come up to you and tell you go back to where you came from. What's even funnier to me is like, who asked to be here?
Okay.
If you look at our history, we didn't ask to be here. But then, it's just the racism and the audacity, but the audacity that was built up by right-wing media, by, and that includes the social media and the spaces that talk and give this rhetoric and this bad narrative or this false narrative of Ilhan Omar, who is a representative, state representative in this country. And she's treated the way that she's treated. No respect. And anything that she says, anything that she does will always be treated as not even second. Like it's just the bottom of the list, no matter how hard her fight is. Right. A lot of people who are in control are only going to see what she looks like and, what she believes. So here is a piece of what I was just explaining to you guys of some racist people calling into our show, like it or not, the first edition a few years ago with their racist remarks. We're only going to play a little bit because this thing can go. So let's take a listen.
Policies. All right, next voicemail.
Yeah, this is Sam from Connecticut. I am sitting here watching these two black fools on TV, on YouTube, that are totally making a fool out of themselves. They're both illiterate, and if you want, take all your black butts and go back to Africa. That's where you belong at. That's where you were put at. We don't want you here in the United States.
Okay.
All you do is suck from the white people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And you're all dumb and you're ugly on top of that. And Obama is an asshole. And he's
all right. So listen to this, right? There's a few things. There's a few things I want to discuss here. We are black. We're both assholes. We're illiterate, and we're ugly. And then because we're black, they had to believe that we are associated with President Obama. And they ain't even know. So that's how you know they didn't watch, because even then, Ben was calling out President Obama like former President Obama like nobody's business. Okay, so I don't even know why that was a point. Okay, and that was pretty cute back then. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, we were nice and black. We had good lighting on us. We made it do what it do. They were so mad that they had to pick us apart because of our physical. Because we said things against them. And you know who those people were. Those are the Antufas. Those are the one-tufas, okay, out there in the cut. And you know, I got my good old overalls on here.
Oh, yeah, you do, Rebecca. Looking damn good.
Those good old overalls. So listen, real quick before we get to this next segment, I want to tap into Rebecca, since it is Rebecca right here on the show, right? I want to tap in real quick, and you know, let's act like, you know, we're calling into the Like It or Not show to disrespect Bubba and Rebecca, actually James and Rebecca Azor. Let's go ahead and call in and leave that voicemail. Hello, this is Rebecca and Bubba. We're calling into the show. Hold on, Bubba. I just want to start it off.
Let me get to the phone. I want to talk to that another.
All right now. Well, I just heard both of you, all three of you, you know, there's one bald-headed who says he's gay. How can he be gay? Look at him, a big black dude. So listen, one bald-headed one that says he's gay and plays music. Who does that? Doesn't even mix. Then there's one on there. She changes her hair all the time. I remember her having it in braids, looking like a carpet. Side note, they told me that before. Looking like a carpet. And then she wears these stupid claws on her nails. Tell her to go back to where she's coming from. She speaks another language. That's muddy right there. And hold on, Bubba. One more. Then there's that bald-headed beanhead. But he's always the one that always has all the big words to say and wants to say he act like he knows what he's talking about. And really, to be honest, okay, Bubba, come on, take the phone, because I don't want to go.
Let me get this wrong, Rebecca. You people on this show, apparently you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That damn black man, the big bald one, what the hell is he doing there? He just looked like he plays music. What is this?
And they said he's gay. They said he's gay.
He's gay? Oh my God, I didn't know that. He's gonna burn in hell. He's gonna burn in hell. He's gonna burn in hell tomorrow. Rebecca, what is going on with this? And then that other, oh my God, the one with the big ass head, Benjamin Dixon. What kind of name is Dixon? I don't understand what the hell is going on.
It's a slave name.
That you goddamn right it is. That is a slave name. And then that old heifer, Rebecca. I can't stand her ass. She just gets on my nerves. She's so black.
She talks a lot.
Why is she so black? She talks a lot, Rebecca. She does. I can't stand her.
She's
Azor. What the hell is that?
They say it's from Haiti, something like that.
Haiti?
I don't know.
Well, wherever she is, she needs to go back there. Go ahead, take her big ass head Ben and the black gay DJ, send them back to Africa.
And the funny thing is, we didn't ask to be here. We didn't even ask. I didn't even ask my family to be in Haiti, but I'm Haitian and we don't like slavery. Okay, we rebel like nobody's business, and black folks in America have rebelled time and time again. That's why this show is what it is, and it will always be what it is. You guys can get mad because of the color of our skin, where we're from, and get mad because you think that black people are only one-minded or one thing, and we're not. You know, and we're so big, and we're so expressive, and we came here and did the damn thing no matter what, and fought for what we needed to fight for. We took on these slavery last names and make it do what it do. Y'all can never be at the barbecue, and y'all couldn't. That's why I can't even go to the barbecue that everybody's inviting all these folks to, because this is what they believe. They believe all these things, and they believe because, oh gosh, I have a black friend and all this other stuff that, you know, it like we don't know that just yesterday you were saying, look at that black girl, look at her features, look at her nails, like all the time in the comment section. I love Rebecca, but don't do it, sis, don't do it. It's because I'm black, because if I was white doing the same thing, it would be impressive, right? It would be something you can monetize on, right? It would be something that you can listen to when it's coming from a state representative if that person was white, right? Now, we're moving on, though, because I could stay on here forever.
Because you just dropped it.
I could stay on here
forever. Drop this mic, I sure would. It can't drop right now.
They expensive.
And that is expensive.
Listen.
Being over there talking about damn right.
Listen, because we ain't trying to. We're not gonna do that, Ben. But
Right,
we're gonna do that. Rep like in a emoji kind of way, right? We're gonna have like a meme type of way. But next story. Look in my Kaya voice. Next story. Wisconsin pharmacist tampers with vaccine. He gets 3 years sentence. This story was brought to our attention by one of our supporters, one of our viewers, Infinite Content. Infinite Content, shouts out to you. He's always sending us amazing stories.
Yes, he does.
And always putting us on game. And this is what he had to say, or this is what he said on Twitter. Remember that from the New York Times. Wisconsin pharmacist who tampered with vaccine gets 3 year sentence. The pharmacist, Stephen R. Brandenburg, believed in conspiracy theories and thought vaccines were dangerous, the authority said. Now, this is a whole entire pharmacist, okay? Stephen R. Brandenburg left vials of the Moderna vaccine containing 570 doses out of a refrigerator during 2 overnight shifts at Aurora Medical Center in Grafton, Wisconsin, federal prosecutor said. And a hospital pharmacist who pleaded guilty to trying to spoil more than 500 doses of COVID-19 vaccine was sentenced on Tuesday to 3 years in prison. Federal prosecutors in Wisconsin also announced the pharmacist Stephen Brandenburg, 46. See that Brandenburg last name? It gives they haven't been in America as long as Black folks have. Just Brandenburg. They done came here, stepped on Ellis Island. But we not see it got me going. They was over there on Ellis Island getting, like passports and stuff, free entry, free to assimilate well. But he was also sentenced to 3 years of supervised release and ordered to pay nearly $84,000 in restitution to the Aurora Medical Center in Grafton. That's where he worked the overnight shift, where he was easily able to do what he did. Brandenburg was an admitted conspiracy theorist, and he admitted to that. He believed the vaccine would harm people and change their DNA. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of attempting to tamper with the consumer product in a way that could injure or kill someone, according to the statement. So here's the thing, right? Those conspiracy theorists, look at them. Damn, David. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But honestly, he's a pharmacist. These are people put in these positions and these places. I'm kidding, David. I love you. But these are pharmacists. This is a whole pharmacist. This could have been a doctor. Imagine the lawyers, the judges that are put in place that believe in these conspiracy theories, that believe in the Marjorie Taylor Greens of America. And, they put that rhetoric into their work, into their job, and they'll do things like put people's lives in danger, putting these hundreds of vials out that could have saved people's lives, or that could have been available to folks who wanted it.
Yep.
And here you are doing that and putting people's lives in danger, but doing it because of your belief that this is going to change people's DNA. It's gonna make me white.
Right. I'm still waiting for my superpowers. I'm still waiting to fly.
Mine did tap in, but then it made me a little crazy a little bit. But anywho,
you were already that, Rebecca.
I was already crazy. I know. I was about to. You're right. But look, it's like, are we really? There's so many weird and crazy conspiracy theories that people will put so much effort in. And these are people who we believe to be smart. Like, you're the whole pharmacist,
Yeah.
Hey, better. So much better. And you still kept the position and thought that you were doing something good. This reminds me of the terrorist attack on January 6th. Right?
Speak on it.
These people believed in a whole conspiracy theory, got together, pulled up to the whole Capitol, and did stupidness, lost a few lives in the name of a conspiracy theory that Donald Trump is still president. A lot of people that were there at the Capitol were judges, lawyers, pharmacists, all those people who disrespect people because of who they are and what they believe.
White supremacists, racists. These people, these are the same people that we see
they will go ahead and take away options for people because of a stupid post on Facebook in a group, and that made that conspiracy theory, and they believe that because of a Marjorie Taylor Greene who they praise, and they believe that. So, you know, I don't know. Like, I see this, and I see this, and I see like there's so many more people who are doing the same thing, and we just don't know who they are. I think that even with the 3-year sentencing, he's going to come out. We know it's not going to be like a whole 3-year thing. I think I read that it's going to be like a release, and he paid a fee, those kind of things, for putting people's lives in danger. It's not that big of a deal, right?
It's looking like time served to me.
Yeah,
he gives me time served.
He gives you that. You can see.
He gives me time served.
And I bet you he's gonna be out, and he's gonna get another job, a pharmacist job. He definitely is.
Like, with no problem.
Like this is our world. This is our world today, and I just feel,
and it sucks.
It sucks. It's our world today. It was our world before that, and it'll probably be our world tomorrow, just with a little bit more, diversity and inclusion. Right?
So they're going diversity inclusion.
Then that's what's gonna happen.
That DNI.
Yeah. So moving on to more news, I think I want to skip down to B1, David. I want to talk about President Obama, since all Black folks think that we, because we Black, not Black folks, even Black folks. So I can't lie. I said that right. Okay, Jesus. Since all Black folks think that because we are Black, we have to like President Obama. And so do many white folks think that when they're talking about us and when they're talking about anything political, and they're not really political savvy, they always pull out President Obama.
The first thing they say is, "Oh, I voted for President Obama."
Exactly. And I would vote for him a second time. I liked Obama. I didn't like when he wore that tan suit. That was against every American right. But
wasn't American.
Wasn't American at all. But
African American.
Definitely. But that was definitely African American. We go against the grain. We pulling up shop.
Okay.
We're pulling up shop. But President Obama, or I keep calling him President Obama. It's very easy to roll off my tongue and say that. Yeah. But former President Obama had actually sat down with CNN's Anderson Cooper and was saying that he didn't think it was going to get this bad when it came to the Republican Party. He didn't think that it was going to get this bad. David, do we have it up?
You write about Sarah Palin, about her brief ascendancy, and you talk about dark spirits that had long been lurking on the edges of the Republican Party coming center stage. Did you ever think it would get this dark?
No. I thought that there were enough guardrails institutionally that even after Trump was elected, that you would have the so-called Republican establishment who would say, okay, it's a problem if the White House doesn't seem to be concerned about Russian meddling, or it's a problem if we have a president who's saying that neo-Nazis marching in Charlottesville, they're good people on both sides. That's a little bit beyond the pale. And the degree to which we did not see that Republican establishment say, hold on, time out, that's not acceptable, that's not who we are, but rather be cowed into accepting it, and then finally culminating in January 6th, where what originally was, oh, don't worry.
So I want to stop it right there, just to say, okay, now I'm not against what he's saying, because what he's saying is like, damn, because what I hear him saying is there was so much happening, and the Republicans, chose now to try to say something and or chose this moment to act like they cared about something, but showed up on January 6th and it was nothing. I never thought it would get to this point, but it was like, damn. Years have passed by, and I never heard him really speak like this.
Yeah.
Why now? Do you feel free now? former President Obama. Like it was always bad. It was always bad. It was always like this. Even under Trump, I wished that I heard some more from him in that way. And this is not to put any pressure on him, but I'm saying I wish he understood how we leveled up as Black people and how Black people in the political space, their voices now mattered. Even the former people who had spots like a whole damn president seat, people would hang on to your every word. And at times we just felt that we didn't have anybody who was willing to say or speak on our behalf in those places. But as years went by, I think President Obama, we were waiting for you. Michelle was speaking up more than you. Like we were waiting for you to say something. Like, did you see what was happening? And it's funny that he says that he didn't think it would get this bad when he was in the worst of it at a moment.
Yeah, he
was. Now they just took off their hoods and we can see them and who they are, but he saw them. He looked them in their face almost every day. So, I think it's kind of interesting that he said that,
Yeah. And it's true. I agree with what you said, Rebecca. When you said they took the hoods off now and everything. I think now when Trump came in, it seems like he made it okay for everybody to come in like, oh, Trump's here. Oh, hell, we can take the hoods off now. Oh, we can be free white supremacists and talk about bipartisanship, but we're not gonna do it. We ain't gonna go across the aisle, hold your head. Nah, hell no, we ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Definitely
Be worse and be real with it.
And be real with it. And Joe Biden, having Kamala Harris as vice president, and it's equivalent to that for me. Even though I feel like former President Obama had still that a little bit more fervor and a little bit more Blackness in him. He spoke on behalf of Trayvon Martin and said that he could have been Trayvon Martin or Trayvon Martin could have been his son. And those kind of comments, those were powerful back then because nobody was really saying those things. But we got VP Kamala Harris saying that racism isn't a thing, and here in America, racism isn't a thing, and we haven't really heard her speak on behalf of a lot of the Black issues that have been going on. And y'all can square up with me on that, but we in June. We in June. Right? Let's play the second part of that. Let's hear what else he had to say.
And then finally culminating in January 6th, where what originally was, oh, don't worry, this isn't going anywhere, we're just letting Trump and others vent. And then suddenly you now have large portions of an elected Congress going along with the falsehood that there were problems with the election.
And the leadership of the GOP briefly for one night when they still had this sort of sense of fear in them, going against the president.
And then poof, suddenly everybody was back in line. Now, the reason for that is because the base believed it. The base believed it because this had been told to them not just by the president, but by the media that they watch. And nobody stood up and said, stop. This is enough. This is not true.
Dang. I feel like he's about to say something about himself on that, because I was going to say something. I'm like, well, did you say stop? This is enough. Right. This is not true, because you have that power. And I don't think he understands that he literally has that power. People still see this man as the president, like a lot of people see former President Bill Clinton as their president. You know what I mean? So I hear you, former President Obama, but so much has, so much has really gone on, and now you're speaking. And is it because you've always felt this way? Or is it because you feel like you have a voice now? It's just a book about to come out, The Audacity of a Black Man. I don't know. What are we doing? Right? What are we doing? And I see Anderson Cooper talking to him. Anderson Cooper admires him. I can see that. Yeah. And even the conversation that they're having is like, so why didn't you speak up? And why didn't you? And what do you think about this? And what do you think? Because everything to him, everything that Obama is saying is like, all right, okay, yeah, I'll give you that, and you're right. But and Obama is speaking as if like him saying this is an epiphany.
Right.
We knew they were bad. We've always known they were bad. It's just when we started to rise up and rebel against their how they are and their ideals, and push back against a lot of their media coverage, and push back against the Karens in the street, push back against the Trumpists, the Trump clan, push back against the whole crew, the white supremacists, the Steve Bannons, push back against the Mitch McConnells, push back against all those legislators, push back against damn Kemp here, you know, like all the pushback that has happened. That's us fighting back. And I think since then that this hasn't been an epiphany. We knew this was going on. We just started to rebel a little bit more. We started to come out ourselves,
right.
And start running these streets and making things happen. And President Obama, his remarks were missing a lot of times, or when he did make remarks, the remarks were sketchy. And that's why it was like some of his remarks that he made. I forgot the instance, and I know me and Benjamin were talking about it. Well, I was calling Benjamin Dixon. Me and Ben were talking about it a while back, and for him to say something against one guy who there was a racist issue that had happened against this man, and Obama was talking to him and was like, "Hey, you should have stood down. Why didn't you stand down in that moment? Why didn't you not say anything? You know, you should have complied with the police officer." And if we talk about on the show, a lot of times those words like you should have complied. Why did you say anything? Why did you fight the officer? Now that I look back at it, why was that? You know, why that couldn't be anything racist because you were fighting back with them, even though it was a wrong situation. Let's look at it from the officer's point of view. Like those are to me white talking points, right?
Yeah, they Obama, really are.
Yeah, you're not. Hey, we need you to be on our side. And now that you're speaking up, and not to say that people can't change and things like that, but it's like, hey, it's 2021. You can be black now.
Mm-hmm.
You can be black now. I know that, you know, they always try to say you was from Kenya, and they try to say that you was a birther and all these kind of things, and you just had to walk through that and walk in your, you know, your ambiguousness. We made you black. You can be black now, Obama. You can say what's on your mind. But to say that you didn't know that it was going to get this bad, to me, you knew. Like you come on, who didn't know? We already knew it was terrible. You knew.
You knew. And I think what it was, he didn't think that it was already terrible. But you need to walk into the 12th gate of hell.
You know, it was like, I didn't speak on it too much. That's President Obama. I didn't speak on it too much, and I went through it. So, you know, I ran so that they could walk. You know, but it ain't that, because we still over here like what's happening? Like
what's going on?
What are we doing? What are we doing at all? Like you know, what did you say? What did you do? It was monumental that you were the first black president, and I understand at that time you couldn't say much. You had a lot of things against you. We didn't have an openness or support system in those spaces to surround, even though there were people like representatives and congresswomen, but we didn't even know congresswomen and representatives back then like we do today. Right? We weren't familiar with it. We didn't have that. We weren't on social media screaming, you know, hey, protect our black president. You know, we weren't really doing that. We were just happy to have a black president, you know, and I think President Obama, or former President Obama, was happy to have that seat. But there are a lot of times he stood by, and I think that was to protect his seat. And to protect his family and things like that. But he stood by while the same terrible behind Republicans did what they did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Love you, Obama. You know, I do. I know Ben be ready to fight me when I say that. I do. I love the man. I do.
Right.
And you know, he was looking like a zaddy in that clip. But
the salt and pepper.
Yeah, he did. But to say what he said, I ain't with it. I ain't with it, and that's on that.
So Mary had a little lamb.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. I want to get into a pastor, right? I want to get into a pastor.
You know what?
What's up?
Oh no, go ahead, Rebecca. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay, I want to get into a pastor.
Because I want to see what you're about to go into. The
next pastor. We just gonna make this segment evangelical, for white evangelicals. Listen, so there's a pastor who took to social media. You know how pastors like to take to social media nowadays. Even our black pastors like to take to social media nowadays and, you know, give us a little bit of what's on their mind. But when it is a right-wing pastor, a pastor who is racist, when I say right-wing, I mean racist. When it's one of those, you know what they're about to say is going to be questionable. So this pastor, Shane Vaughn, he was yelling. He was literally yelling in the mic in his preacher's voice that there is no difference between conservatives being banned from social media in the United States and dissidents being executed by the government in North Korea. Let's take a listen.
Reactionary thought to what the government tells you is good for you. In North Korea, they line you up and shoot you. Oh, in America, they don't do that? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know that the best way to kill somebody is to shut them up? To destroy their influence, destroy their voice, destroy their credibility? That's all you have to do. It's the same thing. They shoot them in North Korea and they kill them in America. This is why any infringement on free speech in this nation must be fought against at every level.
Okay.
Every level.
Okay, so hold on real quick. I don't know how much of that was left, but I want to start with the beginning of that. He said, basically, shutting them up, canceling these folks, not giving them any playtime in the social media space or on media. And we're talking about right-wingers, conservatives, not giving them any time, not playing into their rhetorics, shutting them up. That means that we're shutting them up, their influence, their voice, their identities. To me, when he said that, I thought of, and that's in America, that's a right on American infringement or whatever, or infringement on Americans, right? To me, that was about black folks. I'm like, oh, you saying something good, but to me, that's relatable to black people. You guys are always shutting us up. And when you do that, you're shutting up our voices, our influence. You don't want us to say anything. We have no power. We have no right here in America. But when it's done to conservatives, all of a sudden they understand that idea that we scream every day when we're in the streets. All of a sudden they understand that idea that immigrants are yelling when they come here. All of a sudden they understand that idea, you know, that people from the Middle East feel when they speak up or when they say anything. All of a sudden they believe that idea. All of a sudden when it comes to them, when it comes to conservatives, you know, so that is very telling. Colonizers gonna colonize, whether they in the church, whether they in the White House, they gonna colonize. Whether they're in the talk space, where it comes to radio, or where it comes to any media spaces, they gonna colonize. They gonna take everything that we say and that we say about ourselves and that we fight for, and use it in their own fight. You know, that's why I don't like feminism. This is why I don't understand and I don't like feminism, because it's a fight that a lot of women, especially women of color, have with issues that I have been speaking about many times. But when it comes to feminism, what happens is they take all of those issues and they only apply it to white women. They only apply it to white women, you know, and white women who speak up are the ones who are heard. That's why Harvey Weinstein was taken down. And it took forever for us to get R. Kelly or, you know, other people in those spaces. Yes, you see what I'm saying? When black people, when black women been speaking about it, right? Is there more, David? Because I want to see more recklessness that this man was saying.
Girl, you dropping it right now.
We must push back against any infringement. Against any infringement on free speech. This man was killed last week. I have friends in social media that was killed. You know how you kill them now? You don't take out a bullet. No. You pull their account. You know how they killed President Donald Trump? They didn't pull a bullet through him. They did something worse. They destroyed his ability to speak.
Yep.
You better wake up. You better see how North Korea is no different than the United States of America under its current administration.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's talking about killing folks every day. Bubba, you go outside, you're afraid.
Yep.
That you're going to be shot down. Right? I'm afraid if I go into the grocery store, Karen is going to say that I did something to her, and I'm going to be taken into jail and possibly treated, like possibly treated and killed while I'm in jail. He's saying all these points, and this relates to us. He said what they did was how they killed Donald Trump was by silencing him. And we need to realize that America is an American under its current administration. And what's happening right now is an American under the current administration. All of that is our fight. All of those are our words that fall void, fall on deaf ears. Nobody listens when we scream, when we cry out in the streets, when they're killing our brothers and they're killing our sisters. Nobody listens to us. Nobody, no matter how much we preach about it, no matter how much we march about it, no matter how much we create campaigns surrounding it, they don't listen to us. They silent Donald Trump. He loses his presidency. They march up to the Capitol while we're marching in the streets. We're staying safe, and they're still shooting us while we're in the streets. They're killing our activists and saying that, hey, this wasn't something that was racist. This wasn't racially influenced. But they get to go scream out that Donald Trump isn't president and pull up to the Capitol, put people's lives in danger, come with weapons. They come with guns and everything. We're not even strapped when we're headed out into the streets to yell and fight for our lives and just fight for a piece of some kind of freedom here. All that happened was that they silenced Donald Trump. They took him out of the White House. And now people are willing to cry about it, say that this is an infringement on their rights, their American rights. Now we're living un-American because they silenced him. Y'all silenced George Floyd. We can't ever hear him or his point of view or how he feels about anything. Y'all silenced former President Obama, who now has to come out after being silenced for so long, feeling like he couldn't even say anything for so long. Y'all silenced him. We were at his back the whole time, but nobody cared what we had to say about it. You guys have silenced us since attempted to silence us since we got here. You guys you put more fight into things like Donald Trump being president. You put more fight into things that shouldn't be, right? Like which you guys backed so quick, that Asian hate bill, which I'm happy that it passed.
Right.
But we've been fighting and talking about Black issues in these streets like nobody's business and screaming about it like nobody's business. But we got evangelicals who are fighting about things that don't matter. And that is basically whistleblowing to all the people that follow him. And when he says get ready, he says get ready for those people, right? When he tells them to, watch out and be mindful of what America is doing and how un-American it is. They believe that with all of their heart and soul. But they won't look at when we say it's un-American for you guys to be, to be saying that this is the land of the free, the home of the brave. This is a melting pot. This is where immigrants come to make it. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. We are open doors. They're saying that, that's American, but when we come and we try to apply that to our lives and we fight for rights and stuff, they don't give us an opportunity. They don't give us anything. So we can't scream that it's un-American. We can never scream that it's un-American. But these white folks, when they don't get their way, when they don't get what they want, then they say it's un-American. It's un-American to kneel, but it's all right for them to use the flag for every other thing, right?
Right.
So, anywho, to that pastor, your words are counterfeit. They have no weight. They don't. We've been saying those words for a long time. It's like Melania taking Michelle Obama's words and using them as her own. Be best, right? Listen, don't colonize our fight, but it will never be the same. We actually have something to go off of. We actually have a real fight here. So at the end of the day, look, that was cute. That was nice. But it was nothing.
Hello.
There was nothing there. There was nothing there.
It was empty as hell.
It was empty as hell. So speaking of these weird ass or ASS, we can say that on the show. It's in the Bible. But speaking of these weird behind evangelicals, speaking of these disrespectful evangelicals who are out here doing the work of the Satan, Donald Trump, what else do we have with them, Bubba? I heard that you had a story with another one.
We're going to let this right-wing pastor's unbelievable homophobia. Now, I didn't post this story, but I haven't heard it, so I'm interested to see what the clip is and see what he said. So, David, go ahead and play that. And I think after this, we discuss it, we'll play that other clip after this.
I think a lot of this hate crime stuff, which was really generated primarily to protect homosexuals.
Look, because I'm like, where is it? I'm trying to see it.
Right.
While we get that together, let us know when it's ready, David. But this, I guess, with this right-wing pastor, it's a radio host and Pastor E.W. Jackson, and he says that hate crime laws are designed to allow gay people to try to try to seduce people without straight people being able to retaliate. So he says that the hate crime, hear what I said now, hate crime laws are designed to allow gay people to try to seduce people, straight people, cis people, being able to retaliate. I don't get it. It's like, make it make sense. See, so hate crime laws are designed, they're gay. Hate crime laws just are, hate crime is gay. Is that what he's saying? Hate crime, gay.
We would be black.
I think a lot of this hate crime stuff, which was really generated primarily to protect homosexuals from bullying and assaults, I think a lot of that stuff is to protect against when people are improperly approached and may react violently. Say, for example, some homosexual approaches a man who is heterosexual, touches him the wrong way, does something the wrong way, and the man pushes him or maybe punches him or just responds in an angry way without thinking, that then becomes a hate crime. And I think that's what a lot of this stuff is intended to stop, to protect against, so that there's more freedom and more latitude to approach people and to try to seduce people without them being able to retaliate. Because if they retaliate in the wrong way, it then becomes a hate crime. Now, I'm not saying that's all of it, but I really do believe that that's a part of it, because we've seen those kinds of stories again and again.
Let me go ahead and take this real quick and tell you, for all my straight people out there that don't know, we're gay for us. We ain't gay. Wait a second, y'all. Every straight person out there, just because I'm gay, don't mean I want your ass. Literally. Okay? I don't want you. I'm not checking for you. I'm gay. This is my lifestyle. Ain't got nothing to do with you. So if I say that you look nice, take the goddamn compliment and go on. It don't mean that every gay person in the world is trying to sleep with every straight person in the world. It's just not going down like that. And so many times that I feel that is the interpretation, that just because I'm gay and you're straight, you think that I'm checking for you. Ain't nobody checking for you. Ain't nobody checking for you at all, bruh. So you can go on somewhere. This man right here, for it, and that's one of the main things with our older community, African Americans, Black, white, Latino, everybody. There's this issue or this thing that it feels like we're trying to put our gay on you. I'm not trying to put my gay on nobody. This is my business. Like I've talked to a lot of friends before, and I said, right now it's popular. It's very popular and mainstream to be gay. I'm an old gay. I was born in '78. Been doing this night for a long time, but still, I'm not trying to put it on you. This is my life, what I'm trying to live, and do what marry who I want to marry. Simple as that. And the video after this will break this down so much, because growing up, hearing about certain things, it made you afraid to want to be gay or want to come out of the closet or express how you feel, because you're worried that you were going to get your ass beat. Simple as that.
And wow, look, I love the passion on that one. No, I love it because you said something. I think the key thing that you said is me being gay has nothing to do with you. It's not me putting my gay on you. If I tell you as a gay man, hey, like your shirt, don't take that as you need to step up to me. And if you do hit me, it is a hate crime, because you're stepping up to me because you do not like the way that you don't like the fact that I'm gay and I complimented you, but that does not necessarily mean, hey, I'm trying to holler at you here.
Right.
When it comes to men who are straight trying to holler at us, women, and we're like, I'm not interested. And they get mad and they take that offensively and they try to abuse women. Or if we compliment them, and the same thing, like, to me, it's a hate crime. Don't put your hand on nobody because you don't like their response or what they told you or whatever, or because their sexuality or their color. And I like how you said, that's my life. I'm not trying to put my gay on you. That needs to be on a shirt. I ain't trying to put my gay on you.
Look,
nobody wants you.
You know what, Ben? I hope you taking notes, Ben. Like it or not, on the front,
like
and
it or
on
not,
the back,
merchandise.
I'm not trying to put my gay on you.
I am not trying to put my gay on you, sweetie.
Not trying to put my gay on you.
Yeah, but
so
yeah, go ahead,
Rebecca.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that this next video, like I was saying, growing up Black, you already know we have our struggles. Rebecca, you know, Ben, you know, and I wish Ben could come in on this as well too, especially in this conversation. But growing up Black, it's an experience in itself. You're taught that you have to be a certain type of way, that you're raised to do something. Like you go to church and that you need to, you can't say this, or you have to be this one way. Marriage is between a man and a woman, nothing else, nothing more. You always taught that I have to marry a girl, I have to date a girl, that all this stuff. So that's not how it was. Can you imagine how myself and some other people that may have been gay at the time, still in the closet, how they felt not being able to express themselves, and hearing this thing come through, it really demasculates us. And like now we separate and we don't want to go through it. So definitely check this video out. This breaks it down. She broke it down really good, honestly. And I love how she did it. So, David, play that clip for us, please. Now, I will say there are a couple of choice words in the video. So,
listener discretion is advised as well. There'll be some curse words in it, but please take the message and understand.
Take the message.
Crazy part is we look at gay men as being the weaker men in our Black community because they have sex with other men. But meanwhile, there's plenty of straight men that have been fucking women forever and can't even keep a job. The straight Black men in our community typically are the weaker links because they have been coddled by our community. So they are dependent on us for their emotional, financial, mental, spiritual well-being. Meanwhile, because we shun the gay people in our community and cast them out, they know how to take care of themselves. They know how to go out here and get it for themselves because they know no one's going to help them the way that we help other people. And it's bullshit. Similar to how we treat black girls as opposed to black boys. Because black girls are taught to be independent while black boys are taught to find someone that can take care of their ass. The way they mamas used to. Telling y'all, we got a problem. Gay black men have the unfortunate insight of understanding fully before they've even really truly gotten into understanding their own sexuality that the black community doesn't like them. They go to the barbershop as little kids and they hear the shit from other grown men. They see how people in churches talk about them, hear how they talk about them. They see and hear how we talk about them as black women. So they grow into their identity knowing in advance that people are going to hate them for it.
That's strength.
That's why they hide that part of themselves for as long as they feel possible, because they know what's going to happen the minute y'all find out some shit about them. That really ain't none of your damn business. And yet and still, we have the audacity to look at them and judge them about their life choices when we're the ones out here choosing to be bigots. And
So that was a lot, right? And I will say, you know, I guess in my mind though, black men period are taught to hold themselves up in my mind. But it's a harder, and that's black men period. So I hear what she's saying, but black men are literally taught to hold themselves up. And when they get to a place where they want to be in a relationship, that's when they're taught to find somebody who could take care of them as a woman. So I hear what she's saying, but on that part, it's like, but every single thing else that she said, as far when it comes to gay black men and how we treat them in our community, that to me, I can't even argue with it, because I know I've come from also a church that does that. And, you know, I've been one of those people growing up who were taught to look and treat gay people that way. And where I'm from, most of the gay people were black, but I saw white gay people, white gay men, like more so flourishing, and black gay men getting murdered so much.
We had to fend for ourselves.
Yes.
And like is what she said. We grow up knowing what we have to do, because several times college, Bubba, man, I heard that he gay. Bubba, you gay? I heard that Bubba gay. Y'all be surprised how much it hurts. And I wish we could have Colin. Mom tell you, I'm sure that her sister used to call her, or other family members, oh, Bubba's gay? What's going on? You know that's not right. It happens all the time. Church, barbershop, everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry, Bubba. I am so sorry that you even had to go through that. But I'm so happy that you get to tell it, you know, and your side of the story. And I'm sorry to anybody I've ever offended in my lifetime because of the beliefs that I had, and because I was brought up that way as well. And I remember there's this Haitian boy at our university at FAM. I've never seen a gay Haitian in my life, but he went viral. And they literally, I never seen one, but I knew some that were questionable, who are out of the closet now. But I will never forget, at FAMU, he used to wear high heels. There was no one who wore any heels I don't know anybody else at the time, that particular time. And they used to call him, this is when they were going viral, and they called him Buddy with the Heels. On Twitter, they used to be like, oh, look, Buddy with the Heels. And somebody recorded him and fought him. They fought him. And that's when I felt like I got to speak up on this. We were in school. This was my first year there. And I was like, hey, at the end of the day, I was in a community called HCC, which was Haitian Community Group or something like that. And we got together. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, and he was in it too, y'all. I said, we got to stick up for him no matter what. Yeah. At the end, we have to stick up for him. If he wanted to wear high heels, so what? So what? He loves Haiti. He loves people. He's a person. Nobody should ever mock him. Nobody should have ever walked up to him. And because he was wearing high heels, because he was gay, nobody should have fought him and tried to beat him up and put it on camera and post it to make a mockery out of him. And back then, Back then, there was no, hey, yo, like, hey, that's a hate crime. There was no, hey, that's wrong to do that because he was gay. It was just like, well, he gay. I mean, and he had on high heels, and that was such a problem. And I'm so happy now that, to me, I don't care who you are, what you are, where you from, whatever. That doesn't mean that we have to deny you healthcare or treat you disrespectful. It does not mean that. I don't understand that. If you don't like it, move on. You ain't got to be around me. You ain't got to like me. Just like you said, don't nobody want you.
Don't nobody want you.
I ain't trying to put my gay on you. I'm not.
At all. Ben, I hope you got that and wrote that down, okay? But yeah, and it's right. And it sucks because having to go through all of that and have it twofold, because I'm already a black man dealing with all the black man issues that we got already, worried about getting killed. But add on top of that I'm gay now. So I got worried about white supremacists beat my ass because I'm black, or cop killing me because I'm black. And then I got to worry about gay bashing coming from not only the white community, but the black community as well too. So it's just like, it's a double damn whammy. That's why at this point now, hey man, I'm who I want to be. I live my life and I can do what the hell I want to do for me. It has nothing to do with you. And like, I know we talk about our sisters and coming together. I mean, not sisters, but talk about coming together, black people.
Yeah.
Just because somebody is gay, it doesn't look at or has a different kind of opinion on their sexuality, it's got nothing to do with you. So don't treat that person like they a piece of meat or they not nothing or a dog. That's a human being. Treat them as such.
Look, I'm dropping my microphone now for real because they expensive. But that was a mic drop moment right there. You said a lot, and it goes into, I mean, those our trans women, our trans men, who are being murdered. Being murdered for who they are because the person that they're with is either undercover, doesn't want nobody to know, and when the possibility of somebody finding out it happens, then we see that they're being murdered and not much is being said about it. And this is mostly happening with our trans men and women of color. Yes. And that's in the LGBTQIA plus community. So there's so much that you touched on. You being a black man, being gay in America. There's so many levels and so many places that society wants you to hit. Black society and white society. They expect from you. And because you aren't that, it's a problem. Now they got to whip you into shape. They got to slap the words from the Bible on you and make you become that. Meanwhile, they fornicating like nobody's business.
Okay, because if y'all want to break down the Bible like that, now we can break down the Bible and say exactly.
That doesn't mean that you're any less saved, Bubba. You know what I mean? God loves everybody. If I want to take it there, that's the first and that's one of the things I do definitely believe. He loves everybody, even if you're a believer or not a believer. That higher power loves every single person, regardless of what color you are, what you believe, what's your sexual preference. That doesn't mean that he loves you any less. And I say that to anybody who I went to church with. It doesn't matter. Like, we might believe different things, but that doesn't mean the God that we claim that we serve loves this person any less at all. So, my God. Well, it is 9:50. Hey, Benjamin Dixon, you are on the show now. Is there anything that you want to say? Because I see you put them earplugs in. Are you gonna you about to say a little something?
James, I'm gonna make it short. The night you and me were over at the beach, we coming back. I don't know who all was with us. I don't know if it was you or me, if it was you, me, and some of all the sisters and brothers from the marching band. I don't know who all was with us, but the night we were walking back, and we tried to get a ride with somebody somehow or another, it came to it where we ended up running from some white supremacists.
Yeah.
Them bikers in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm running from white supremacy. You were running from white supremacy and all the other stuff that you have to deal with.
All the other demons that be coming after you, and all the people who try to attack you for who you were. I was running from one thing, brother. You were fighting. You were running from two. We survived. You have been a survivor of not only white supremacy, but you've been a survivor of homophobia in the Black community.
Yes, man. Oh shit!
A survivor.
Like, that's real. That's really real. If you think about it, just growing up, like I said, I couldn't identify with anybody. I didn't have anybody to look up to. All these thoughts and stuff going in my head. I didn't have nobody. Until I went to college and was able to actually talk to other people. That's why I tell everybody, I'm like, man, yeah, I got my high school friends and I love all my high school people, but college was what really molded me. It what really showed me that I could be who I wanted to be and not be afraid of it. And now, granted, at one point, it was some fear because, we went to college in the 90s, 98 going into the 2000s. So it still wasn't, right. It wasn't popular to be gay yet. Okay, it wasn't a thing.
No, it was
It's like if you say you gay, you can't say you gay. It starts in levels. Your DL, for y'all that don't know, that's down low.
Down low.
Okay, so then you come out as bisexual. It's like, okay, because I like men and women, so I have to play that fence. So it looked like I'm not one way, so everybody still be cool with me. And then eventually, third or fourth year in college, oh yeah, I'm gay. Because it's time to be who I am. I'm about to leave y'all. Y'all not gonna make me no money. I'm not making y'all no money. It's all about me. So deuces. I'm gay as hell.
I love it. Another one. I'm gay as hell. Get it on a t-shirt. I love it. I love it so much. And that's just be who you are. Be who you are. And like, I played into that role as well. Meanwhile, I'm over here getting cussed out every day for being Haitian, getting bullied, like having to fight for my life. And then at the same time, it's like, oh, he gay. We don't, the Lord said it. The Lord hath said it. And at that, no. Hey, if I believe that everybody should be loved, and I believe that love is universal, right?
Yes.
And that the covering is universal. If I believe that, and I ain't talking about everybody in the audience, if I walk in that, then why am I treating this other person in such a way that they don't deserve? Why? And people are treating me that way, and I don't want them to treat me that way, right? For being Black, for being Haitian, for having a vagina, right? So I get it, and I again, I apologize. I am sorry. I repent to anybody that I've treated any kind of way, if I have in my life, if I didn't speak up when I should have, when I saw something going on. I apologize, and I love you all. And it is Pride Month, and I thank you for preaching down to me on today. DJ exclusive James Bubba Williams. I thank you for that.
Gotta do a little something.
Yeah.
Love y'all too.
Love you, mean it. And look, and I like it because this is where you shine, and when you are who you are. Okay. And I live for that. Now,
right.
All right. We are, we preached it down. We covered a lot of places there. And I want you to take us to a break. We're going into the after party. If we're already not there, I don't even know. Sometimes we be in it and I don't even know. But we're going into the after party, and I really would love for everyone who's watching to, hey Ben, love you, mean it. Bye. See you in the after party in the background. But we're going to the after party, and if you are watching right now, please know that the after party is on the Like It or Not YouTube page. The Like It or Not YouTube page which will be linked in here. David, please link it. So go over to our Like It or Not page. We're doing that because we want you guys to go over to the page, stream with us there, because we're going to be eventually going there for the totality of the show. We're going to be starting and doing that. Subscribe. So like, share, subscribe, subscribe. All 326 of you there now. If you haven't already, please go and subscribe so you can continue to get this good content. Where are you going to get people talking about politics? Where are you going to get people talking about the church? Where are you going to get people talking about pride? A Black man talking about pride? Nowhere, but right here
Nowhere.
on Like It or Not. So definitely become a subscriber on the page. Also, as soon as we reach 1,000, we're going to be, David, what you telling me? We're done with making it public?
Wait, you're right. I was confused.
Or are we going to make it public? Okay, look, David said we're working on that. We're working on that. But as soon as we reach 1K, though, I'm telling you, we got something good coming for you. So be expecting that. So we want to be at 1K. We're almost there. Please, guys, keep pushing until we get there. And to our Patreons, I love you guys. I thank you guys for rocking with us. Without you who are Patreons and aren't Patreons, but viewers, subscribers, people who like and share, we won't be able to do what we do. So keep on assisting, helping us, supporting us so that we can get out of this corporate world and be free and be with you guys every day. I love you guys.
And also, if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, make sure you go. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, y'all. We need your support. We appreciate it. We love y'all. We gonna see you in the after party. But before we do, let's get rid of some of these new Patreon members for yesterday. Boom. Yesterday, we had John F., Keith M., Scott H., and new Twitch subscribers, Ginger Snip Snap, who gifted a subscription to Wilco93, y'all. So thank y'all again. We greatly appreciate that. Once again, make sure if you have not, you join patreon.com/LikeItOrNot. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot. You can get dope ass content like this. Get a dope ass crew like Ben, Rebecca, myself, David, Dwayne, all us. Man, something you don't want to miss, y'all. We're going to take it to the after party. Get y'all some good music, though, while we get over there. Let's get it. Like it or not.
In the mirror for the self-diagnosis. Feel like they really nice me for the ever get to know me. They tell me that you need me, the action didn't show it. Knowing that you play the angles, and I'm seeing through your motives. But the weight down on my shoulder, found a way to hold it. I can't keep my focus, barely keep composure. Hard when I've been coping with all the pressure that I fed. Make it hard to hold my head, make it hard to get to sleep. Like I'm slipping from the edge, struggling to get it right.
Say it again.
Press the wrong button.
Say it again, say it again. You're saying you're sorry, so say it again. Only you can make my world go black. Say you love me, then you take it back. Say it again, say it again.
Good morning, Mama and Daddy. I thought I forgot about you, didn't you? Good morning, Mama and Daddy. Love y'all.
You're my thunder of my darkest night. You just can't go back and make it right. 'Cause it's too late. Your time is up. Damage done and now it's stuck. Yeah. 'Cause it's too late.
Afraid of bees. I love you too. Thank you.
We can do this all night. Slide to the left,
to the right, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, right hand is wrapped around your waist. I love the way
All right,
that you
y'all.
be
Welcome
twirling
back
to
to
the
the screen. My
bass.
sister from another
Sideways on the
mister,
front deck, DJ
Rebecca.
playing all of your favorites. I'm digging your flavor, yeah, yeah. 'Cause your vibe.
Hey, is that the same song?
Slide to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never gotten to this part before.
Right. Oh
Okay.
yeah, you probably have it because they probably already faded out or something else.
Oh. Okay, I love it.
Okay, come on, slide to the left.
I like it. I'm like. Anyways, welcome back to Like It or Not, right here. Where let's practice it so that we can
Here
do
we
it
go.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
And not care who doesn't like it.
Hey, and it fits with today's whole message. Let me tell y'all something. Okay. We're gonna be excited to be who we are and whose we are and how we are. And we don't care who doesn't like it. And for everybody who's watching, I want you to do the same thing. Like, I hope that you got that message. Whether you like it or not, how we served it up, what we said, where we agreed and disagreed. At the end of the day, we're still gonna be us, whether you like it or not. And that is our truth. Our truth is nothing like being who you are is your power. Being true to yourself and who you are and walking in that is your power.
Amen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like being me. And I know some people may say that I'm a little mouthy. Some people may say I'm a little bougie. Some people may say, all kinds of things about me. Negative, positive, whatever. It's all good. But I like being me. And I remember when I couldn't be me. And
I don't care if you don't like it or not.
And I care not. I care not.
I care
not it. Okay, King James, where listen, I'm the wrong one to F with verses 3 and 4. Like, don't play with me.
I like you.
So we have a few things. I know we're at the 10 o'clock hour, so we have a good, have a half hour with guys. But there's some other stories that I really wanted to cover. And one being the HBCU, and I hope that we have it in here. This HBCU, do we have that? Just to make sure. Look, I'm waiting like somebody about to pop up. Anyway, there's an HBCU. We have no visual for that? Okay. Well, there's an HBCU. There's an HBCU. I'm trying to remember what the HBCU is because it's not in here. But there is an HBCU. While you give me the name, David, there's an HBCU where the president of this HBCU, it's a private college. The president of this college actually decided to do what for the graduates?
Erase all their debt.
He erased all of their student loan debt.
Wilberforce University.
And it is, which one is it?
Wilberforce.
There it goes. Wilberforce University. I remember it was a W because I ain't never heard of that HBCU, but they're still our brother and sister HBCU. And which location is that? What state is that from? Wilberforce? Okay. Is
it Pennsylvania? I want to think it's Pennsylvania.
It's one of them because I want to give them a shout out because I think this is amazing.
Yeah.
Wilberforce University President Alfred Anthony Pinkard. He actually decided as a gift to the graduates, you guys, of this private HBCU, he actually decided to pay off all their student debt. And I absolutely love that. I think that's amazing. I think that's great. It's a good example because earlier last week, or it could have been this week, our president, President Joe Biden actually offered up a speech. Is there sound to this, David? Because if there is, I do want to hear it. Okay, while David works on that for us, it's funny because at this, the president, Alfred Anthony Pinkard, I love his name. That's a real black name. President Alfred Anthony Pinkard. But the President Pinkard, he did this for the students. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden actually gave a speech not too long ago to HBCU students to say Congratulations. Meanwhile, the president of the school was like, oh no, congratulations and we're erasing debt. Something that Joe Biden promised that he would be able to do some form in some shape or form and did not, but gave a congratulations to the HBCU students. And the president had to step in and do what black folks always do. Assist.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this, what this president had to say.
Represent the best of your generation. We wish to give you a fresh start. So therefore, the Wilberforce University Board of Trustees has authorized me to forgive any debt.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was University President Alfred Anthony Pickard delivering the good news. The ceremony was attended by both.
When I tell
you, call me, please. Can FAMU call me and let's do a redo?
Oh, look, the only other college that I've seen that do that, the HBCU, Morehouse did that 2 or 3 years ago. He paid their student loan debts, I think. And I was like, boy, my gosh, why I couldn't go to an HBCU like that? And shout out, Wilberforce University is the first private HBCU.
Yes.
And it's in Wilberforce, Ohio. That's dope as hell.
Ohio. Gotcha. So shout out to Ohio. Shout out to Wilberforce. Yeah. Shouts out to the president, Alfred Anthony Pinkard, who went to go ask for the assistance. He said, hey, yo, can we clear their debt? Okay. And they said, why not? I need this in my life. But I need for FAMU to really send me an email and say they watched my show and said that they wanted to clear my debt because I'm wearing the orange and green. I don't know. I'm feeling the HBCU energy today.
Most definitely.
To President Biden, that's how you do it. That's presidential. That's fighting for your people. That's making sure they're okay. That's not coming out and campaigning on the idea of it, promising us something and giving us nothing. That's how you do it. Shout out to that president. I love him, mean it. Hey, Wilberforce, you were our distant cousin, but now I know you. You pulled up to the cookout with all the people and we like, dang, who is that coming in the G-Wagon, right? Who are they, right? That's you guys. So shout out to Wilberforce. Absolutely love it. I love when I see HBCUs doing good things. I love it. It's HBCUs. If any of you guys are, if any of you black folks are watching and y'all got kids who are just about to go off to college, I encourage you to go ahead, sit with them, or who are probably a year off from going to college or whatever. Sit with them, encourage them, and tell them why HBCUs are the way. And if they want, and if they're confused, turn on Like It or Not and say all three of them went to HBCUs.
Right.
And then we'll move on from there. I wanted to cover this story particularly. This one is a young man who came up with an idea. And in this idea, it was an app. And I love Black creatives, especially our young people who are doing things and creating apps and things like that. It's a very innovative time, especially during the pandemic. Everybody was picking up something, but this young man created an app, and he's going to explain it more. And the thing is, with this app that he created, he found out that the celebrity being Diddy, the celebrity being Sean Puff Daddy Diddy Love Combs, because he changed his name to Love, but that celebrity stealing his idea. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
You ever had your heart ripped out of your chest? For the past year, I've been building, developing, and promoting my Black business discovery app called Circulate. This past Wednesday, P. Diddy announces he's creating a Black business discovery platform called Shop Circulate. This is what a Black entrepreneur faces all the time. We go underfunded, we can't get loans, we don't have a network to get resources from. Like, look, man, I'm a kid from the South Ward of Newark, New Jersey. I can't fight this machine all alone. I need help. Follow us on Instagram, donate to our GoFundMe, links are in the bio. And if somehow this reaches the ear of P. Diddy directly, you can email me at drixon@circulatetheapp.com.
I'm pretty sure he created this right here. Hey, Drixon, come on with it.
P. Diddy announces he's creating.
So, Drixon.
I got questions. Well, go ahead, Rebecca. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start here before your questions. So I think that this happens a lot with Black creatives, and it be from sometimes our own people. Now you can't tell me that it's a coincidence that it's a Black business discovery app that was created with the name Circulate. Sometimes we put our information out there a little bit too much, and a lot of people to take them. But sometimes we put our information out there because we're done building it and we want it to grow. But there are people who are bigger, smarter, stronger, richer than us who can literally just come in, take our idea, and if we sue them about it, pay us off and still keep our idea.
Yeah.
So this is what a lot of Black creatives go through, and we are underfunded. And I say we because we're Black creatives in this space,
right?
And it's tough because a lot of times I see our platform being mimicked by clear people, and they will say the same things that we say, and because they're funded, because they're rich, because they're whatever, it works out for them. But here we are. And here he is, and because it's Diddy being richer, stronger, not smarter, but richer, stronger, and lazier. The same person that says sleep when you're dead, and taking people's ideas. This is and because it's a necessarily a nobody in this space fighting a somebody. It may not get to where it's going. And I'm glad that he plugged himself in. A lot of people were like, well, why did he have to put his GoFundMe? Because he's trying to get funded. Because he's a businessman, man. Okay? So go ahead, Bubba.
Let me play devil's advocate. And maybe it's not devil's advocate, but I need some more information. Because it's one thing if you're still in the idea. Because let's be honest, it's a billion people in this world. Somebody got to have that same idea. I know that there was a Black business app that listed all the Black businesses before. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Like it or not. Follow us on Like It or Not Show, Instagram and Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Like It or Not Show. No? Okay. But everybody can have similar ideas. And I know that there was a few apps out there that listed all the different Black businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how deep did the idea go? Did you protect yourself? Did you copyright that stuff before you put it out there? Sometimes you can't share all of your good news, your ideas, your creations. You can't share that with everybody. Some stuff you got to keep under wraps until you are completely done and you got it on the marketplace, or it's already in first stages of development, like a beta or something. So I hear what he's saying, and I hate that he say that he stole his idea, but how much of it? That's the part I want to know. He said that Diddy stole the idea. I need you to elaborate, man. If you're trying to get these people to subscribe and get your GoFundMe, tell them what the hell this man did, and let's get your money. If not, then
he stole. Well, for me, it's just him stealing his idea, and I guess I can see, because I've seen this so many times, that not only Black creatives steal from each other, but we see how big brands like Louis Vuitton and all these other brands will see Black creatives like with their designs, with the different graffiti purses and things like that, come out, take it, utilize it, push it, get paid off of it. And no matter how that Black creative fights for, and has had a lot of the things put in place to save themselves, some of them probably didn't have money and finances and were just not privy to how to put themselves out there and protect themselves without big brands stealing their stuff. Because back in the day, we were just dropping it just to get support. We were just dropping it just to get money. We were just dropping it for people to go to our virtual stores or our pages or whatever. So a lot of people weren't privy to the business practices of online space, but so a lot of people got stole from. But I that's what I hear when I hear him talking. That's what I envision. That's what I see. A lot of big brands and Diddy is a Black man. I love him, mean it, whatever. But at the same time, I equate him to being a big brand and how it's easy to grab from people.
I'm about to flip it. I'm about to flip it real good for you, Rebecca, because what happened is, Diddy probably wasn't the one that stole the idea. It was one of the people that's working on his team. 9 times out of 10, they was probably white.
And that could be Diversity and inclusion.
That damn D&I.
Flip it and reverse it. In the black community, we got that one white person that we need to go steal ideas so we can blame it on them. Diversity and inclusion.
And he took it to Diddy like, Diddy, I have a great idea.
I found something.
I tell you, this is all the black businesses. Look at that. That's awesome. I think we can do this. Yeah, I made it myself. I did it. Yeah. Like some other kid did something, but it's okay. But yeah, this is all me. Yeah, I think we can do this.
I think
exactly how it went.
I think even his audacity, though, to tag Diddy lets me know that there's some truth to what's happening.
Yeah.
And then him saying, Diddy, contact me if you see this. Like, let's have a conversation about it. So you can tell me if he stole it or not. Or how he I think he's really about that. I mean, his little audacity. Drixon, shouts out to you. Hopefully you get somebody. I hope that you guys find out who he is. I don't think we have a link to his GoFundMe, but if we did, I would have put it up. Shout out to him. Find out who he is, y'all. And if you feel compelled to support, do that. If not, if you feel compelled to share his story, do that as well. So geez Louise. Black content being stolen. Another thing that we got to deal with every day.
That's true.
Another thing.
Oh, TikTok. Oh my God. It happens all the time. Like these people, they do all these dances, create all of them. Then here go our clear friends coming up doing it like it's already been a thing. Like, I created this. I did this. Like,
colonizers gonna colonize.
My sister just did this the other day, and she okay, cool. Yeah. And then don't let the video do good and go viral. They're gonna pull that video.
I heard that was a thing that happens in the TikTok space where
it happens so
they'll
much.
Pull the originated video out and they'll keep the viral one, especially because it came from a white person. When their content gets pushed more, but they'll keep that up to make it seem like that was the original video. So we gotta work hard in these spaces, y'all. Like we gotta. If you flip it right now to a channel that does what we do and may not have Black or brown people as the lead, you'll see that it gets so many more views, and that's because in these spaces we're throttled. We're pushed because we're telling a different side of the story, or because we are Black telling the story. So we're about to end. We got 10 more minutes. I wanted to play some quick cutie videos or some funny videos. And before we do that, I want to see if you have them up right now. The letter hack sketches of Ben and I. I know Bubba's probably coming up next. So y'all look at the second one at the top. You see Ben with his hand gestures, which he got them on point. Look at Ben. Now look at me. I love that he got my nugget nose. I love
nugget nose.
My nugget nose. I love that he got my hoop earrings. I love that he got my weave down packed. And I absolutely love the nails. It's the nails for me. He got me with the hands, the gestures in my hands. It looks like I'm about to be like, and look, this is what happened. What we're not going to do is, here's the thing. The thing is, because that's what it's given. So shout out to Letter Hack for always doing us right, always getting us right, and being a supporter and making me feel really, really presidential. Like I'm famous, baby. Like they stay out here sketching them. You know, when they sketch us, you important.
That mean you doing something.
That mean you doing.
I love the sketches. It looked like y'all about to get put in a comic book.
Yes.
And like it's some whole stuff. I love the Letter Hacks drawings. I love it. Like he has some dope ass sketches on his page.
Like he just be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and draw Rebecca because it's in my shot. Let me go ahead and draw Ben because it's in my shot. It's in my spirit. Let me go ahead and Bubba, you're next. You're next.
Right.
Bubba.
I already know.
So and yeah, you know what? Surprised me, David, with some of the videos that we dropped. I know we dropped some really good videos. Some excited ones, some nice Black joy. So surprise me.
Yeah. You better do good, David.
Oh, this one. Okay, keep it on pause so I could give it some context. So there is a guy who's running from the police, right? He's running from the police. Y'all, they're going. They get to this damn hill. The hill whoops all of them behind. And everybody just starts to walk. Still chasing them, but everybody just starts to walk and be like, damn.
Like even the dude that's running.
He literally slows down. He crosses the damn highway, but he's going so slow. He's like, oh, let me just They slow anyway. So let's take a look at this, y'all.
So this is happening.
It's the commentary.
Oh my gosh. He better stop. He's gonna run up on the highway and cause an accident. Like, someone needs to. He's gonna get up on that highway. Watch. He better not get up there.
Look, now watch him cross over. He's like, oh.
Look, he's getting on the fucking highway.
Watch, look how he gets on it. He literally is just walking at this point, y'all. And the cops are behind him, tired. That hill.
They killed their ass.
They're behind. If you've ever hiked in Georgia, you know when you're at Stone Mountain and you get to that hilly part, everybody, no one's running that hilly part. Everybody literally starts to walk and just go so slow because it's whooping they behinds. Listen, it's no joke. It's no joke. The police were like, just go on ahead. We'll get him. Oh, no. You go.
Like, oh, you go ahead. Right, suck these all them damn donuts. Like, it's okay.
Even the perpetrator was like, "Ooh, I know I'm not about to stop for them, but I ain't about to let this hill whoop my behind. I know I'm going in, but let me at least put up a fight. I should have been working out a little more.
Maybe I shouldn't have stole them cookies.
Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have ate before I thought about going to do what I did. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have put a little bit more work in. Yeah, that man was like, huh. It was the way he crossed over into the highway. He said 1 leg, 2 legs. And then he put his hand on his hip. I told you when you put that hand on the hip, you tried.
Damn, now I got to get across the highway.
That man, it was whooping his behind. David, what else do we have? All right. So I think this is the singing and rapping old white couple. That's going to be
the song.
Nelly and Kelly. Nelly and Kelly. Let's hear how they do.
And they in Florida.
That's you. That's the right there. That like Hey Arnold's grandma.
Come on, Daddy.
That looks like Hey Arnold's grandma and grandpa.
You say who?
Hey Arnold. It really does.
And Mama on me too.
Hey, no, they were giving what needed to be gave. That definitely looks like Hey Arnold's grandpa and grandma. It really does. That's what it's giving me. But that's Rebecca. She said, Kelly, you don't know it. No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Even when I'm with my boo, boy, you know I'm crazy over you. No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Even when I'm with my boo, boy, you know I'm crazy over you.
Shawty be looking like. I don't know the rest of the song.
I met this girl that she just moved right out the block for me. Yeah. I cannot believe it. This is the viral white folks videos, right? And when I see this, I always have to make sure we back it up with like the black folks dancing, just to make sure there's a balance. But I love to see that though. That was really cute, and it had to be out of Florida. It had to be out of Florida. Oh, there's another one, y'all, because it's been a certain epidemic.
It has.
These white folks have been going out here and colonizing our music. I like the last one that we saw. Let's see if we're gonna like this one. And this is in a supermarket. Let's see if we're gonna like it. No.
Bag it up. Big girl, bag it up. Bag it up.
Now wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby,
Put white people in.
You see? There is no wobbling happening. That man said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. He was giving us Elvis. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. It was no wobbling happening in this particular moment.
Look at him, Rebecca. Look at him.
Oh, and I don't like when they do their wrists like this. Why do they do this? Is she chatting to Jesus? Hey, she said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. I thought she was giving a shout. Wait a minute. No. I don't like when they roll their wrists like this. It's just like, it's like
that's part of the techno stuff.
It's like, yeah, the raging. Like the Kamehameha. Oh Lord. Listen. Yeah, that was definitely cringy. But
it was.
The first one I did because we're judging them, right? If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do like it or not, right? Like America's American Idol. So the first one, I'm going to give the first one an 8, and because they had the movement, they were hip, they had the lyrics. I understand it was karaoke, but they had it down pat. What would you say, James Bubba Williams?
You know, Rebecca, I would have to give them possibly an 8 as well, too. And then they moved good. They had movement. They had the motion. They had a little beat to it as well, too. No matter what I do, you think about you.
I felt that as well.
So it was great. It was great. Now, the second one. You go first, Rebecca.
Now, on the second clip, if we look at the environment, it looks as if it was a cabaret inside of a grocery store. And that to me is very telling of the lack of talent that they had. He said, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. And there was no wobbling happening in that video. So I give them a 3 for effort out of 10, but they are not going to make it to the next round, unfortunately.
Rebecca, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Those people did good. They were outstanding Americans. They were dancing to some, I don't know, black music, I guess. They need a 10. They need to go on to the next round because they were doing their little wobbling thing and moving their wrist. They were dancing. They were dancing, Rebecca. Dancing.
And with that being said, that's why they will not be moving on. Who let him on? Who let Bubba on stage? Look, I run the show.
I don't want to work with this black woman. She gets on my nerves. She always thinks she knows what the hell she's talking about.
Because that's the actual fight on Like It or Not, American Idol version. Listen, I hope that you guys definitely enjoyed us. I hope that you guys had a good time with us. I hope that you were able to vibe. It is Thursday. So whatever you're doing today, I want you to play some throwback music. My song choice of the day will be After Party by Coffee Brown. You know, we've been talking about that for a while, but I'm going to be playing that today. What's going to be your throwback jam of the day today?
My throwback jam will probably be... I don't know, Rebecca. I'm trying to think about it.
Some a little Anita. What you want? A little Anita, a little Luther, a little what you want?
You know, I'm feeling Tamia. Like poetry. I love poetry. A Stranger in My House.
Okay, there's a stranger. Okay, that's what vibe you on right now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you're gonna be on Tamia. I'm gonna be playing some Coffee Brown. Shout out to Black women in music. And with that being said, I love you guys. Mean it. I hope you got a lot from today's show. And if you have not already subscribed, liked, or shared, make sure you do that. Make sure you get our likes up. Make sure you get our subscriptions up, and make sure you share this with whoever and however and whenever on every platform that you can, so that we can make sure that we're back here with you every single day at 8:30. And tomorrow morning, catch On the Clock with Georgia Fort right here on the Benjamin Dixon Show. I love you guys.
Let's get it, y'all. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow.
How you gon' lie when you look me in my eyes and you show me your facade? Show me your facade. How you gon' lie when you look me in my eyes and you show me your facade? Show me your facade. You a lie. You a front. You say anything long as you get what you want. Tryna play me like a fool, homie, I am not a clown. It ain't nothing but a game, cause all you do is mess around. Now I'm on the verge of a meltdown. I should've known when I met her back at Midtown, at Dogwood, when I was going through a rough patch, but it's all good. I even told about the dark times I had in childhood when we was driving off of I-10 in Kirkwood. Now all that time I never get it back. You wanted that, used to hate when I didn't wanna hang. I noticed that, used to talking about your ex Jake with your next Jack. Used to messing with them white boys, now she went black. Wait a minute,
all right, y'all, it's time for me to go make these donuts. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow. 8 o'clock start with On the Clock with Georgia Fort. Then comes right in us with Like It or Not, y'all. Deuces, see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all, mean it.